All things are lawful, but not all things are helpful. All things are lawful, but not all things build up. Let no one seek his own good, but the good of his neighbor. Eat whatever is sold in the meat market without raising any questions on the ground of conscience. At that time, they didn't have restaurants. People would sacrifice meat to an idol and sell it in the market. It was the closest thing you'd get to a restaurant. For the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof. So whether you eat or drink or whatever you do, do all to the glory of God. If you want to be a vegetarian, go ahead, but don't say God told you to, because he didn't. He told us it was okay to eat meat, and he didn't make us that way. He gave us canine teeth, which are made to eat meat. If I was a vegan or a vegetarian, I wouldn't be pushing it off on others the way that some people do. You have to be extremely careful to deal with the nutrition you need. What if there's a new mother who doesn't feed her child properly and it's starved to death? Those extreme vegans don't tell you about that. It happened in France. A couple who were militant vegans accidentally starved their son to death because he wasn't getting all the nutrients he needed. I'm sure they were feeding him truckloads of fruits and veggies, but he died because he wasn't getting enough of the right nutrients that come from meat. It still blows my mind that you can be eating lots of food and die of starvation. Beside the ones in France, there are other people who have accidentally starved their children by putting them on a strict vegan diet. Links to the French story and other news stories of children dying from a vegan diet can be found in the description. I think the fact that one has to so carefully regulate their diet and make sure to get the micronutrients they need when they don't eat meat kind of points to the fact that we're omnivores and we need meat. There's a fine line between being a good steward of nature and that around us, and worshiping nature, and it takes a while to get a feel for that line. Everything in moderation, avoiding extremes. I once knew a lady who was a Christian who decided to be a vegetarian as a matter of conscience. She was married and got pregnant. But while she was pregnant, she ate balanced meals that included meat for the welfare of her child growing inside her. She fed her kids and husband meat along with the veggies for meals because they weren't vegetarian. She went back to being a vegetarian herself after her child was born. What a well thought out, thoughtful, and studied way to go. I commend her for it. And I'm thankful she gave meat with the veggies for meals because that would have sucked not eating meat growing up. Of course, in the West, we can have too much dairy and meat in our dishes. And I'm thankful to other cultures that have dishes that have veggie in them, that don't have dairy in them, that taste fabulous. It doesn't mean I would say never eat cheese or make certain dairy-based pasta sauces. It's always moderation, balance, common sense, and stewardship. If I was going to be a vegetarian, I'd probably just a vegetarian, not a vegan. I'd eat honey, milk, eggs, etc. You don't kill the bees to get honey, or the cows to get milk, or the chickens to get eggs. Chickens can lay eggs without them being fertilized. Veganism is no animal products at all, and that's extreme to me. It's cool that It's cool that chickens can make eggs without needing a rooster, and it being such a good source of food for people. It's also a base ingredient in many recipes. It's almost like the Lord gave us that extra touch for us to get the food we need. I believe in not needlessly killing animals, of course, but if you do it for food, use up all the parts of the animal you can. Don't let anything go to waste. We kill the cows for beef and make their skin into leather. Using up all the parts is a good thing. Giving my 2 cents on keeping big cats and such. I saw Tiger King, and holy moly, the drama. It was like the circus came to town in more ways than one. But what a wasted resource. I can understand people being upset that the first 6 months they were useful, then sat in a cage for the next 30 years. These people have a passion. They love animals. Why not have them breed the animals and have the animals there at the reserve for the first 6 months to a year or 3 of their lives, making sure the animals were treated right and making money to cover the expenses of breeding and caring for them. It's very expensive to care for these animals. But then put the animal in a rehab program so they're fit to live in the wild, then fly the animals to where they're needed to build populations back up. They're animals that are going extinct, and we can build the populations back up. Zoos need to replenish their animals. Why stop at lions and tigers? Why not rhinos and elephants and eagles sea turtles, orangutans, whooping cranes, gorillas, etc., helping build up the populations again. Now, if you excuse me, I'm gonna go have a hamburger with a slice of cheese with extra lettuce, pickles, onions, tomatoes, and a little homemade secret sauce, which is basically ketchup and mayo mixed with a few spices, and some home fries from the oven. I don't think scripture precludes Christians from having a burger with cheese. It's putting a slice of cheese on adult cow meat.
My God, I'm so hungry I could eat a horse right now. Are you serious? It's just a figure of speech.